Hey everybody, I'm Omega. Welcome back to the Day-Night Show matches. I'm going to be casting tonight with Zero Lambda. We are not casting the planned Vexon versus Loopyloo. Vexon was carried off to work by his superiors. So in his place, we've got Gurthang, and effectively at this point, this is a full series, and this is the third time they've played each other, so it gets to be a best of five, which has never really happened with sub-games before, so I kind of am impressed and confused by that. So, yeah, how you guys doing? And you know what? We'll skip a lot of the rank question stuff. We can always just talk about that while the thing's loading. So instead, you had an interesting question that you brought up over the weekend, Zero, that I kind of want to throw in there. And that is, do you either of you guys have a particular genre of game that isn't getting as many games these days? Like the big example for a long time was flight simulators, but suddenly we're starting to get stuff like Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous. Is there any other type of game like that that you'd like to see brought forward? Now, I know Gurthang answered this already.
I did with
an answer
I have
that
no idea,
which is totally fair. So instead, I'm going to ask him what his favorite genre of novel is instead.
Ooh, you got a harder
Oh,
question.
well, you see, you think so, but I'm going to go straight out and say that it's a tie between sci-fi and fantasy.
Yeah, good man.
Oh, that's
Hey,
nice.
we love you around
So
these parts then.
So it's either the really weird, wacky sci-fi stuff, like, I don't actually know a popular one that I've read, or it's Lord of the Rings.
Have you read the Dune trilogy?
See, I haven't. I haven't read the well-known sci-fi books.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
don't read a lot.
I was going to say that one, if you do, I would definitely recommend the first one. The last two, if you really love the universe, maybe. They're a lot harder to get through. It's like it goes from being an action movie to being, well, Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones in space.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't read those either.
So it's basically, it becomes space politics for like half the book, and then it becomes an action movie again. So it's interesting, but I highly recommend at least the first Dune book. I think pretty much anybody I've ever met who's read it loved it.
I've heard that you should read it.
Yeah, it's good. But in any case, yes, Loopy, if you would like reminders, game genre question.
Alright, game genre. There's a couple of things. I mean, I'd like more puzzle games, like Portal style, not like freaking Candy Crush rubbish, but proper make you think ones. But there are some. There's like Talos Principle and stuff coming out. So another genre is like stealth, but proper stealth, like
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
old
Like,
Splinter Cell.
not
stealth.
Skyrim stealth.
No,
Where
not
you shoot
Skyrim
somebody in the
stealth.
head and they're like, "What was that?"
No.
Games like, you're talking like old Thief or...
I haven't played that. I'm more thinking like old Splinter Cell.
Oh, I love
style.
Splinter Cell gameplay.
Which is probably similar to Thief. Like,
No,
you have to be stealthy. There's no like option
Yeah.
of, oh, you can gun if you want. No, stealth.
Yeah.
But I just kind of take what games I can get. The only game I specifically want is Shadow of the Colossus 2, but I know that that will never happen. So yeah.
What I want to look into that actually fits into that genre, the stealth one, is Styx Master of Shadows. That I've heard is pretty good. You're basically in a like steampunkish universe where goblins are considered fantasy, but you are a goblin master thief. So
Right,
quite
I've
literally-
seen that on Steam so many times, and I've
It
just
looks
ignored
good.
it every time.
I just don't. I'm already playing through Thief right now, so I'm gonna get through that, and then I'm gonna check that one out later. But Thief is also good, by the way. It turns into a horror game for one chapter, which was real scary. But
Ooh.
other than that, it's awesome.
Sounds good.
Don't know whether to be put off by that or not. I'm not
Well,
good
I mean,
at
it's slightly less scary than normal because you're technically a badass,
yeah, true.
but it's still pretty scary.
Is it like the way I see it? Is it like Dishonored?
Yes,
I thought it would be.
with less murder.
Oh well,
Yeah.
with Dishonored, I'd only knock people out, so probably more
And
murder.
also, no blinking, which makes it harder.
Yeah.
You can't just
Yeah, I
magically
can
teleport. Yeah. I can see where that would be an issue.
Yes, exactly. But it's a good game. No, it's just one chapter where you have to infiltrate this abandoned asylum.
Mm.
It's a It's a bit fucked up. But the rest of the game is exactly what you expect it to be, both before and after that.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm a bit of a wimp, so I'm not sure if like actual horror fans would find that part creepy or not. I was just like, I did not sign up for this. The entire time. I was not a fan.
Very good.
But anyway, yeah. So we can move from that into map vetoes now. For anybody who is curious, this is a Loopy, you play random more or less?
Pretty much.
Random with an emphasis on Zerg.
Exactly, yeah.
And then Gurthang's Protoss player, as you guys all know. This is a say goldish, silverish, depending on the matchup.
Yeah, basically.
I have no idea really how to call the skill of a random player. I just say that they're braver than me and probably better at the game.
Well, that's definitely not true. But you know, I just like fun more than winning.
Yeah. And we are playing on the NA server, and Loopy's originally on the EU server. So keep that in mind.
If I lose, that's why.
Keep that in mind, everybody. And other than that, we can move on to map vetoes. So we have, of course, as usual, the normal map pool of Expedition Lost, Overgrowth, Secret Spring, Vani, Catalina, Deadwing, Inferno pools. This functions the same way with the best of 5. Still do rock, paper, scissors, but we only have 2 vetoes before we start marking down maps.
Oh yeah, best of 5, right? Completely forgot about that.
Oh, it is a best of 5.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
They play each other that much,
yeah,
intentionally.
it's been that many sub games.
interesting. Okay, cool.
So you want rock, paper, scissors in chat, do you?
I do. Okay. Loopy wants scissors, Gurthang wants rock, so Gurthang, you get to pick if you want to veto first or second.
Loopy can veto first.
Okay.
Ooh.
Switching it up here.
What do I hate the most? Let's think. What does everyone hate? I think it must be that one. So I am going to veto Varney Research Station.
Okay.
Oh.
Statistically, the most vetoed maps I'd say are Expedition Lost and Inferno pools.
Right.
Because Expedition Lost apparently has a nearly unbeatable Immortal all-in.
Don't tell him that.
Well, yeah, you go in through the back rocks, and you're just like,
Well,
hi.
it's
Hide
at the pro level, guys. The pro level.
Yeah,
Calm down.
I know.
You're not
really
pros.
like
Everything
Immortal
works. Don't
all-in.
worry about it.
I will veto, just because we said that, Expedition Lost.
Aw.
Oh, good guy
Nice
going.
guy.
Yep.
I don't particularly like that map.
Oh, fair enough. So, map 1 is Inferno pools?
Is it?
Because you vetoed Expedition Lost and Vani, which means Loopy gets to pick the first map.
Well, I will pick Overgrowth for
Okay.
first.
Overgrowth.
Next.
Deadwing.
Okay, next.
Secret Spring.
Okay.
Inferno pools.
Okay.
Obviously, Catalina. I mean,
Right. Oh, duh. Normally, I'm good about that. Okay, so we have everything worked out here, so let's go ahead and try and load up a map and make sure everything is working.
So you guys wanted to go to Vani, right?
Overgrowth.
Yeah, I know. I'm giving him shit. I'm giving him shit.
Don't do that.
Gurthang's like, no, my heart. It can't take it.
Well, yes, actually. I'm full of pasta and very sleepy.
Pasta.
perfect. Leave it the way it is. That's fine. No, it's me versus Zero.
No, I don't think so. Not today, buddy. Sorry.
I'd probably lose anyway. I don't know what you are, but
I'm effectively bronze. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, it's me versus Zero. Let's go.
I made it to mid gold before I stopped laddering for a while. So.
Okay. I just presumed that you'd be, because I always think of casters as always being pro no matter what they are.
Oh
so.
man, I'm shooting for platinum
Actually-
eventually, but
Average casters are plat or diamond.
Yeah, exactly. Which is
Pretty
pro in
much.
my eyes.
Um,
If you get to platinum, you're pro. No, for me it's diamond. If you get to diamond, that's when I say that you're pro. If you're in platinum, you're getting there, which is my goal. And if you're in gold, then you may have slightly wandered up high by accident.
You're just a good average Joe.
You have played the game before.
Yeah.
Oh, Loopy, I will shoot for that then. I'll shoot for plat.
Yeah, good choice.
Cool. All right, so races and colors, gents.
I'm cool.
All right, now we're gonna kick you out so we can get this started.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Oh,
All right.
All right.
Boy.
Go
Good
away.
luck.
Go away.
Gurthang. Have fun. And play Terran. Bye.
No. Oh no. No, he's still on random. I checked, guys. It's all right. Obviously joking, yes.
yes, he is.
Yeah, yeah, we know.
Kind of holding my breath for a second.
So what's going on? This is the first match you're casting this weekend, right?
Yeah.
We had Covert do the other two.
Technically, I hadn't yet, so I'm pretty excited to do this because there was all this good StarCraft this weekend. I wanted a chunk of it.
Yep, well, perfect map to start this off on is Overgrowth, I think. Should be a pretty action-packed game, depending on what Loopy rolls on random.
So what did you think of Zest versus Trap? I only got to see some.
Oh my god, that series was incredible.
Uh-huh.
The Trap got stomped, but it was so... I don't know. It was satisfying to watch. It was very, very good PvP. PvP is always really funny, especially for pro players. You know, you kind of look at it and you go, I don't want to do that. That's very, very bad.
You know, I gotta say, it wasn't just that. I just enjoyed watching Trap play, like all of his matches. He's not a passive Protoss.
No, he's not. I mean, he gets up
punch
to...
you in the nose every 5 minutes if you can.
Exactly. He kind of gets up there, in your face, plays aggressive. He had to stop doing that versus Trap, though, because Trap would just pull a hook when he wasn't looking, and then, all of his probes would be gone.
PvP's different, but then again, PvP's usually more action-packed than, like, PvZ.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's not too unusual.
For sure. But, anyway. Into the game here, best of 5. Turn off on Overgrowth.
Dooper. In the bottom left part of the map, we have our yellow Zerg, originally rolled random player. It is none other than Loopyloo.
And at the top right, his opponent spawning as the blue Protoss player. It is DJ's Gurthang.
Nice.
Yes, very good. Gurthang, pretty cool. He's been playing a lot lately, actually.
Yeah, he's available. I've noticed pretty frequently when we're doing matches. So he ends up in a lot of sub games in addition to his own normal matches, and he loves StarCraft. He just plays it a ton. So it's always a treat to watch him play. In fact,
definitely, he's very solid to boot. So never disappoints, at least that I've seen.
Loopyloo also genuinely enjoys this game. He takes a much different approach to it, though. So I'm pretty excited to see what he has in store for us as a Zerg in this particular match.
I think he prefers Terran. Is that what I heard before? He prefers...
Actually, Zerg.
Oh, he does prefer Zerg, so this should be good then. He's put his best card forward by accident.
Yeah, I was kind of anticipating we would see him play this in the second or third game. But yeah, we're getting to see this now. He's going through checking his natural for any... Well, no, he sees the probe wandering in, so he's a little less concerned about it. He's got the Overlord checking for any cannons or any additional probes hiding out. Doesn't see anything, so this guy's just going to do his usual job. The usual job of the initial probe in the Protoss army is to just see if there's a spawning pool. If there's a spawning pool, then usually whatever build you had in mind goes out the window, because now you're going to not die.
Yeah, spawning pool is a pain in the butt. The earlier it is, the more of a pain it is.
But interesting. We see Gurthang going actually for an in-base gateway setup. He knows that his opponent is Zerg now, and we're not seeing him reposition his buildings, try to scramble for a natural or anything. So it looks like he's chosen a relatively neutral style. Just the positioning of how he's hiding this probe, though, it might not be. Yeah, he's either gonna wait. Does he have the second pylon in base? Yes, he does. This is probably like a gateway pressure move.
Should be good, especially if he gets the Cyber Core out fast enough. Yeah, I'll get Warp Tech in there. There's a little gap here. He could have put the pylon, but that's easier to find. Usually Zergs check for that now. It's kind of common these days.
Well, yeah, I mean, and this is a little bit different than, say, something like where you're trying to, trying to think of where you would want to do that. And usually you actually use it for blink. You can just blink chain units over that spot.
Yeah,
But you could try and warp in DTs directly into the back of their base, but it's like, okay, suppose you do that and there's a Spore Crawler back there. You warp in 3 DTs. Well, they're probably all dead. So if you
More than
approach from
likely.
the front, at least 2 of them can get away.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I get it and it's cute, but I kind of like it where he put it a little better. However, if you're proxy 2-gating, you probably want to put it near there because you won't be close enough otherwise.
Well, if you're proxy 2-gating, you probably want it at the 3rd location anyway. You get access to the ramp quick, you're not running around in a circle, and there's, you know, less of a chance for all that funsies, but Loopyloo, he's going for roaches, and Gurthang, he's going for robotics.
I kind of think of it, it is a little weird that we're seeing early Spore Crawlers.
He's a little paranoid. I would be too. Seeing
I
Gurthang
mean-
play these last couple days. I always
mean-
thought he was a macro guy, but lately he's been
Well,
up in your face.
the way I would describe that, because I mean, yeah, I don't really blame. Who was he that he played against yesterday that said that? Hold on a moment.
Played against
Yesterday on Friday. There we go. ZRQ saying that he's not really a passive player, but he's a passive player if you back him into a corner. He can do anything at the start of a match.
Right.
Like he's always the type of person that I would say is going to be eager to fall back and get another base instead of kill you strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he'll still come and kill you later, but I've never seen him overcommit to an all-in.
Yeah,
Which-
yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, he would go for the safer option.
Speaking of all-ins, Mortals.
Yeah, he's going for Immortals here. He's moving his army across the map toward the 3rd. He's gonna check. Not gonna see anything. Sentries warped in ahead. Looking for some, early pressure, just like you said. Couple roaches, though.
So this is like a basic form, Immortal all-in. There's no, gotta get that Guardian Shield with this. Oh, or not. They just won't focus any units down and he loses a sentry, but he kills the entire army.
All the roaches. Yep, early zealots. Pain in the ass for Zergs. But he's waiting at the edge of the creep now. Queen pulling back. Drop another creep tumor there. He's got 3 queens at the front to defend against this.
You know, I'm not sure if Gurthang was there when I was talking to Loopyloo about this, but Loopyloo actually did mention that against Zergs, he likes to rush roaches out. Seems kind of... I mean, it's possible that he might have intuited from that he should go Immortals, but he didn't say anything about doing that to Protosses.
Yeah, no, this is a powerful push too. An Immortal here now.
Okay.
Changing his mind.
Yeah, he's getting the Guardian Shield up. It's going to make the Queen a little bit less effective. Pretty much needs to focus down that Immortal very, very quickly. Unfortunately, I don't think he's doing it fast enough, and he's losing all of his roaches. I think he doesn't have enough to hold this. He's pulling out the workers now. Here comes some lings. He's going to actually be able to corner the Immortal and kill it off. Is there a second Immortal on the way?
There should be.
Yeah, there is. Okay.
Yep, it's walking very slowly. He's not going to make it in time. Sentries
I
and a couple
think-
stalkers.
I mean, okay, he lost some workers there, and he did lose a bunch of queens, so he's been slowed down. This attack is not over yet. With this next Immortal in here, he's actually going to need to pull the workers again. I don't think he has a choice.
It's going to be need more bodies up there. Immortals are powerful, 1 shot at a time. Roach is going to start picking away. Not going to quite
Yep.
kill it.
And from here, he's losing workers. He's bleeding those out, but pretty much all that does is stall for time. If he can keep this Nexus alive, then he has a way of crawling back into this game, but looking more and more like that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to lose this hatchery. He's camping here in his natural. He's trying to scramble what he can together. He doesn't have a lot of gas.
The frustrating reality here for the Zerg is once he loses that all-important natural hatchery, he just doesn't have enough production to keep up with a one-base Protoss. And over time, Gurthang will simply build an army that's too large for him to deal with. Now, from here, if he can hold the ramp long enough, he could try to go for some type of tech that could give him an advantage, but it's going to be tough to do.
Yeah, this Immortal is going to be a huge pain. Spore Crawler coming, or Spine Crawler, excuse me, coming up. Not doing quite enough damage to take anything out. Lings throwing themselves in.
He does take care of the Zealots that we're attacking for the most part, though. Another one's popping up here. It's forcing the Immortal back, but it looks like it's just not enough.
This Immortal's so annoying here. Staying just out of reach. Loopyloo GG's. Loopyloo dropping map 1 to Gurthang. Pretty well played, though. I mean, that was Gurthang coming in with the CQC, definitely taking everything down as expected. Loopyloo, I guess, I don't know. Maybe more units would have fixed it, but that Immortal just changes everything, unfortunately, the roaches.
To be honest, I think a big part of that, though, well, let's say for a moment, you can't do anything about being hard countered like that. So working within that realm of you've got Immortals coming at you and you're building roaches, it's the loss of the first 3 roaches, I think, that probably did the most damage. If he was able to pull those back, he had that entire ball there, 4 more roaches, you can focus down the Immortal. Things look a little bit different. He might have still lost the natural over time as that second Immortal came down, but I think eventually he would have held.
Yeah, he probably would have held. I mean, you've got queens and stuff too, and if you drop a Spine Crawler, that also helps. But
also maybe pulling the drones immediately rather than waiting. Like that, probably, because that really is what held him.
Yeah, that pretty much tipped the scale back.
Immortals fire really wants to face one of us.
Perfect. Damn.
Perfect. Is that like perfect text? Is that what that's supposed to be?
I think so, maybe.
Name speak. Never could wrap my mind around it. I'm being sarcastic, by the way.
Yeah.
Dude, best example of that recently, Heart Heroes game we played before, where we were doing real bad, and the one guy on our team, who of course naturally was doing the worst, asked us, what letter R, letter U, DOMPG?
Tom Kabuge. I remember that. That was the Tyrael, right?
And we were so flabbergasted by this that we were like, what? What?
Nobody could understand
What
anything that he was typing. What are you...
He got so angry that it became like, he was just frothing at the mouth and shaking.
Oh man, it was terrible. Yes, we eventually did lose that game, right?
Yeah, we did. We lost all the games that evening. That was a rough one.
That was a rough night. Alright, starting us off. Top right of the map. Spawning is yellow Protoss this time. It is Loopyloo. To tie it up this match.
And in the bottom right part of the map, we have his opponent currently up one game. It is DJ's Gurthang in the blue and the Protoss. You'll probably also notice that Loopyloo actually let his opponent know what race he was.
Yes, very good. I love it when they do that.
Not every random player does this. I do appreciate it, though. Like, it's a point of politeness. It keeps the other player from doing silly things, so you get to actually play a normal game.
Yep, good sport, good sport. Loopy's pretty cool guy. I like Loopy. Chrono boosting probes. Saving it up for anything later, as we can see so far. So they both know it's a PvP. How do you think this changes Gurthang's strategy here?
To be honest, it really comes down to which of the aggressive plays he likes to go for. There is a handful of Protosses that do fast expands, but it's just not that common. Most players will end up going for the high percentage game, which is going to be DTs, Oracles, Gateway all-ins. If you know your opponent's cheesing, you can 12 gate.
12 gates.
12 gate up into... Well, yeah, some people go for Blink Stalkers as well, but you can 12 gate up into just pure gateway pressure and you'll kill them before they do anything. But it's the thing is, all those builds kind of counter each other. They're like a big pinwheel. They're not hard counters. You can still win. Like if you want Robo, for example, and your opponent is not Robo. Wait, did that wrong. Stargate. You go Stargate, you get an Oracle. Your opponent goes DTs. You don't have very good detection. But you can kind of stall them. You can try to stall them out by positioning things on your ramp correctly to block the DTs from coming up. Stuff like that. Like, you can do all of that. Or if you go Blink Stalkers and your opponent goes DTs, same sort of deal. You can stall time until you get a Robo. If you're really good. If you're really bad, it becomes a hard counter.
It's a hard counter. Hard
And
counters suck.
And then the DT walks up your ramp and into your base and starts killing things, and you go, oh. And then you wait 2 or 3 extra seconds, and he kills 6 workers, and you're like, oh, okay. I lost. Yeah. So it can be kind of a just kind of watch the players flop sort of match, or it can be really exciting. So I actually enjoy this matchup as a result.
Yep, definitely. It's like, not quite like the knife fight in the closet type thing with the ZVZ. It's more of a... I don't know, try not to roll a natural 1.
It kind of is. I mean, I think this matchup is in a little bit of a more interesting place than ZVZ is, though. Like, just because it's usually not as starkly bad as that.
Yeah, I suppose not. Ooh.
Hey, Stargate!
Gurthang doesn't want him back here to look at this.
No, I mean, he sees 2 pilots at the front. He sees that he's trying to wall them off. That's extremely suspicious, but this is like StarCraft Game of Thrones right now. That's essentially what this matchup is.
StarCraft.
You're trying to backstab each other. So you know that. The other guy can do something sneaky. It doesn't mean anything unless you know specifically what type of sneaky he's doing.
It's true. StarCraft Game of Thrones. I'm going to have to hang out to that for later. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, Loopy stole one of Gurthang's minerals. This probe is really angry. He's trying to chase him down. Now there are 2 probes on him.
The second one was told to go back to his post. How dare he abandon it.
Get out of here.
Notice Zealot up here. Oh! Not scouting what's up here. Now, Loopyloo is going for the natural expansion. What kind of tech does he have here? Is it just pure gateway tech? Yeah, it looks like he's getting +1. He's grabbing a stalker. If he has 2 stalkers and they're positioned correctly, he can deal with his Oracle just fine. It only takes 2 to hold him off. A single stalker dies to an Oracle. So keep that file away in the back of your brain if you're defending against this.
Oh yes, and you know, by the time the Oracle gets there, has enough energy, this +1 is going to be done too, so it's going to have a little bit more damage against these.
Another key element in this particular matchup actually happens to be the Mothership Core. It's something that doesn't get as much emphasis because it's kind of understood by most Protoss players, but if the game proceeds past this stage, most engagements start to revolve around the Mothership Core, whether or not you get a good time warp off, whether or not you get a good photon overcharge, can they kill it before you do any of that stuff. It gives one side an advantage. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't have any defenses up here right now, so the destruction of the workers is going to begin. One thing he does have working in his favor, though, is that even though he may lose a decent number of workers, he does have a second expansion, so he can reproduce them fairly quickly. He's going to try and chase down as many as he can here. Where is that? Oh, it looks like the army of Loopyloo is just going to hang out at the front of Gurthang's base.
Yeah, he's got a few warped in here. Ooh.
Is Loopy going to send that back, or is he effectively pulling the boys? He is.
He's
okay.
pulling the boys all the way across the map here.
This could work, except a Void Ray has popped out now, and a single Void Ray against, let's see, yeah, that'll beat 2 stalkers. So he can defend this. I think I would have been a little happier with this if he actually just ran these back in. Yeah, he'd lose a few more, but he can reproduce them pretty quickly. You can't get any more army units, and there's too much up here to defend. He can actually just force field half that out. He's not even gonna, he doesn't even need to do that, honestly. Once the stalker goes down. Time warp so they can't escape. Loopyloos just laughing.
So many probes dead now.
The Oracle play in particular is very strong against a fast expansion.
Why probes no fly? Okay, GG.
GG.
Yeah, well, not much Loopyloo could have done there. Oracle did crazy damage. Just kind of gutted his main base. Oh, yeah. Hard and fast.
Hello, Man Bon.
What the hell just happened? Well, you joined at a perfect time. Man Bun. He pulled the boys. Didn't help too much.
Pretty much, a thing happens to a lot of Protoss players to try to fast expand in any real way. When I say fast expand, I mean getting expand before attacking your opponent, because that's essentially what it comes down to in that matchup.
First one to expand loses.
Gurthang went for Oracles, and Oracles are really good against that. I'm trying to think of what wouldn't be really good against it, and Blink Stalkers would be good against it. Maybe Roboplay wouldn't be so good against it because the attack comes a little later.
Yeah, Immortals don't really shoot up either.
So it's like it's a gamble against them going in defensive play. But as you can see, I mean, it's just the common Protoss builds are just kind of good against that. Yeah, you missed Muffin casting, man bun.
Oh, Muffin did a great job, man bun. We're gonna have him on the lineup hopefully more often. So
yeah, we found that having two casters with an admin is an ideal format. So he'll be around a lot more often if you can spare the time.
Yep, loved it. VODs are gonna be up on YouTube eventually, so you should check that out. I enjoyed it. He was pretty good at it.
Yeah.
So it's good stuff. But you know, nobody can replace you in my heart.
Aw, thank you.
I love you, man.
Okay, so it's time for Secret Spring. Loopyloo's still rolling the die. See if we can get some Terran in here.
Roll the die, giant question mark on one side. How do you read what's on there?
I assume that just means roll again.
Roll again. Gurthang up 2. Blue's got up his sleeve this game.
It's Terran! Yay!
Oh!
Okay, in the right side of the map we have getting all 3 races in this match today. It is Loopyloo, RL Terran.
Turn. And his opponent spawning on the left side of the map. Spawning his red Protoss. It is DJ's Gurthang.
Okay, so this map is notorious for being hilariously fun to cheese on because there's some stupid stuff you can do in pretty much any matchup.
Bunch of stupid stuff.
Whether you're Terran or Protoss, 2 barracks or 2 gateways actually block off that pathway in the middle, so it's entirely possible to take your buildings, wall off, and then put your stuff out in front. Now, both players seem to be relative. Gurthang is especially aware of this, which you can see why he's making sure he scouts for that.
Immediately running around to check, yeah.
Also, of course, there's plenty of ways to blink into their base. You can also try and hit the rocks to slow things down. And most importantly of all, the distance between the 2 ramps is actually relatively short. So aggressive plays get to the other person's base very, very quickly, making them a little bit stronger than they normally are.
Got 2 SCVs on the map, Omega.
Yeah, Loopyloo's looking to do some little fun barracks play. I mean, let's be honest here. I think this is actually a great decision for this particular map. And I like that he kept one of them back in his base. It looks more or less normal, and he didn't wall off. So, unless Gurthang's really, really in tune for the timing for these buildings, he probably won't necessarily immediately know that anything's wrong. He may go about his business. Obviously, the best case scenario for Loopyloo is that he actually builds an expansion. That may not happen, so we'll have to see what he goes for. If he tries to go for Stargate play again, I have a feeling that Loopyloo will be fine. He'll shoot too many Marines.
No, it doesn't look like he's expanding so far. He's getting the Cyber Core. Not bothering yet. This probe's almost dead. He's going to come back home. There's a high chance he could catch this if he moves.
He has to actually look down, though. If he's just been rallied back to the base, he will not see it.
On the probe, and the probe diverts the wrong direction.
But he's cutting back. He's going to miss it. Just barely, I think. I'm going to keep an eye on Gurthang's vision here, because I want to know, does he see this? Does he see this? Well, he's watching the probe actually fight the SCV. Nope, he's bringing it back home. Okay. So he has no idea. And
yep. Oh, no. Oh, dropped a bunker right before the vision. And Gurthang's going back to check, and there it is. He's pulling a bunch of probes. He's got...
but the Marines are already up here. He's going to start bleeding workers immediately. He's trying to get the second SCV down. Trying to go out to the Marines now, which actually are not being microed back. There you go. Just keeping him alive as long as he possibly can. And he's already killed 5 workers with this. Yeah, he lost the first SCV, but the second one's going to get onto the bunker now. He's going to be able to place that down. And this is looking really bad.
And really bad for Gurthang here. Bunker in his base now. He's just going to start hopping bunkers forward. Going to move in and start pecking away at these pylons.
Losing those is going to hurt.
Not going to feel good.
Make things worse. Yes, okay, he's got a stalker, so he's just going to run back to the bunker. Not going to get the second one, though.
Bunker not quite going to finish. Got more Marines on the way. No SCV yet. I'm going to have to eventually cancel.
He's trying to get more units out. Mothership Core on the way. Second stalker. There's too many Marines now, though. He's not going to be able to kite forever against that. He's just going to push him back into the base. He's not pulling the probes. Doesn't want to. Anytime he gets too far away, he's just going to work on the building. Uh-oh. You know, might actually be wise to leave a couple things into the bunker at this point. Okay. Not enough energy on that mothership core for anything just yet. That takes about a minute before that happens. Probably a little depowers the gateway.
Oh man, depowers the gateway and supply block now. Mothership core gonna go down immediately to these Marines.
Nope, doesn't get it, but he's gonna kill the stalkers.
Not quite.
Oh, actually, no, he's not. If he controls that right. But
wow, holy cow! All right, one Marine survived. There are 3 barracks down here now, though, all constructing at once.
Gurthang's still supply blocked. Loopyloo's still producing Marines, and that may end up being the fatal problem here.
Oh man, this is.
But he's gonna have enough for a photon overcharge when the next attack occurs, I think.
Yep, not taking out that mothership core is a pain in the butt.
He can definitely hold this, or at least keep him out of his base for a little while.
Oh, careful! Got to keep the stalker. Need that damage. Let him.
He has warp gate.
Let him work away at this gateway.
You know what? I think Gurthang has actually some chance of holding this off. He still has most of his economy alive.
Yep, photon overcharge down now. Bunkers aren't. Well, the bunker is in range. Very good.
That one is. Strangely enough. Which is fine. He's just going to build another one, and he has enough to hold this position now. At the very least, he keeps him contained. I don't know why he's building a supply depot right there. Should probably not build it right there.
Maybe the wrong hotkey. That's possible. But Gurthang getting gateways down now. Loopy trying to hang on to this. Doesn't want to be dropped 3-0 in this.
The tricky thing is if he gets enough stalkers. I don't know what the exact number for this is. Oh, he's grabbing a sentry.
Very good. Stalker count is climbing. These Marines are going to have a lot of trouble, especially without combat shield upgrades. And 2 bunkers full now.
Yeah, the thing is he doesn't want to attack into the bunkers, but now it's at the point where Loopy's not going to want to attack into that either. So this is going to become kind of a stalemate until one side hits critical mass.
Little touchy. Little touchy. Stabilizing still, getting another sentry. Going to try and take this pylon.
Artosis pylon. Kind of Artosis pylon. What's the kind of Artosis pylon? What do you call that? Only powers a couple buildings.
I'm not sure, actually. I don't think there's a name for those.
But no, it's just that one building at the bottom.
Artosis-ish.
It's dependent on Artosis pylon.
These Marines keep stepping forward. Stalker's taking them down pretty handily. They're getting low now.
A little bit of lag there. Not seeing anything too intense.
Lost 1 gateway. Gurthang supply blocked again, so there won't be any units. There we go. Back up. Bunker. Building right here at the bottom of these gateways. Gurthang gonna warp in at the top. Gonna try the dance of death here. Stalkers move forward, and there's too much DPS for these Marines now. Bunker goes down, and I think Loopyloo is having a hard time holding this together.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually gonna push him out of his base.
Trying to hop between them, but now there are too many stalkers here. Too many stalkers. No repairs. Bunker's gonna go down. Eventually, these Marines are gonna die, and Loopy's out of options.
Okay. Hold down the fort for a second. I gotta go make sure somebody isn't dead. Movie while I'm trying to do this. Right back.
Fine by me. Gurthang cleaning up his base, taking the bunker out. Loopy content to lift these barracks and fly back home. He's gonna hang on to these. Doesn't want to lose them. He's gonna attempt to expand behind this too. Extra economy going. He has neglected to get the orbital command. So there are no mules. No mules to make up the deficit yet. Gurthang checking around in the map. Gonna find any secrets. And Loopy trying to block off this third, or actually natural expansion here for Gurthang. Almost full, so it's gonna be a lot of HP there to work away. Gurthang moving into Forge. Gonna get those upgrades. Upgrade advantage over the Terran Marines. Very good.
Okay, I'm back.
So the barracks have landed safely at home. Where do you think Loopy's
right.
gonna go from here? Time is ticking.
I think he's gonna die. He's trying to get an expansion, and I like the idea. It's pretty much expansion or try to get something that cloaks. Pretty Widow Mines or Banshees are really your only options at that point, and
yeah.
It's well, he chose poorly.
He did indeed. Gurthang tanking the entire series. 3-0 with that one.
Yeah.
Gurthang is on fire.
Well, this is not too unreasonable. Loopyloo hasn't been able to play as much since he's been doing computer project stuff, and we know Gurthang consistently practices.
Yeah.
This happens.
Yes, this does happen, indeed.
One day, maybe they'll play again. But also, Loopy is apparently really bad at executing aggro. But the thing is, that was set up pretty nicely. He got the barracks up without them being detected. He got the units into his base, and he was actually very close to just pushing Gurthang over in that game. That was nice. A little bit more practice with that, and he'd probably be able to do it pretty easy.
Yeah, no, that would have been great. I mean, he had him on the ropes there. If those stalkers hadn't pulled it out like they did that one sentry, some focus fire on more of the pylons probably would have shut things down pretty fast. But we'll try and get these players into Skype here. They're having a little chat about what the game did, how the game went.
Yeah, I mean, the follow-up expand is something I'm actually a little bit more in favor of on a map like Deadwing, by the way, where it's super far apart. Odds are he's going to hide in his base a little bit longer because he doesn't want to leave. And then you ninja expand. Do not do it in your natural.
Yeah, that's not really a ninja at that point.
You put it on the other corner of the map. Send half your workers over there. However, to be honest, I actually think following up a cheesy play with more cheese is usually more effective.
Usually.
To be honest.
Yep.
There's a reason cheesy players you see on ladder.
Yeah. Once you stab him enough times, kind of make sure he bleeds out all the way. Oh, man.
You can hear me, right?
Yes,
I can
we
hear
can.
you, yes.
Perfect, okay. Hello.
Hello.
Well, welcome back, both of you. Thanks for playing. Thanks for Gurthang playing on short notice. So always appreciate that.
Thank you.
And
No problem.
yeah, let's not waste any time and start looking at the games here. So game one on Overgrowth. We got to see Loopyloo play all three races, and the first one he rolled was Sir. So talk about this game from your perspectives. We'll start with Loopyloo first and go at it.
Alright, so that game, I'm trying to recall. Protoss versus Zerg, Protoss versus Zerg. Ah, yes, he came in with the Immortal, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was just that was a good game. You came in slightly too early for me, and I like my roaches, and you apparently like your Immortals. So yeah, I don't really have much to say, but you just outplayed me there in terms of aggressiveness. Other than that, I just did my standard opening with my standard whatever I feel like attitude, and didn't do anything really special, and I don't think anything really spectacular happened in that game.
No.
I tried to hold it, but it was a lot of pushes and a lot of just holding on but losing too much to catch back up.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
The Immortal was based off of the conversation we had before the game started, where you were like, I usually just go straight to roaches. It's like, I wonder if he does that against Protons.
I was wondering if that's what you were thinking. I couldn't remember if you were in the Skype call when he said that. I was like,
precisely what I was thinking. I was like,
okay.
oh, he said this thing about roaches, and the Immortals are good against those.
You see, the way I think of it, Zerg likes to make Zerglings, so I like roaches. Terran likes Marines, so I like roaches. And Protoss like Stalkers, so I like roaches. So I tend to make roaches. I know
Roaches?
Stalkers are pretty good.
I hear something about roaches in here.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
even when they go roaches, I just go roaches faster. I mean, roaches are pretty good.
That's like cowbell. The only counter to roaches is more roaches.
oh, well, if you look at Stefano, he made a career on that Wings of Liberty. So
He really did. He invented
I'm not being sarcastic.
He invented the max, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, the like 11-minute, 12-minute max.
Yeah, it was something crazy like that. He got those in there real fast.
He played Mass Roach every game, but he didn't just do that. He got so good at knowing whenever he had to pepper in any other unit that he kept doing the style when everybody else gave up on it, and he won like a ridiculous number of tournaments.
Yeah, everybody thought it was out of meta, but it was not for Stefano.
Stefano made it work.
He made the meta.
He was a good player while he was up there.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And then Swarm
Maybe
Host.
he's moved on with his life, which is totally fair at this point.
Yes, and then Swarm Host.
Yeah. He made a good point with that. I think the best quote on that particular thing is I remember In Control saying, he's like, yeah, I watch him when he does that, and it looks like he has no soul in his eyes. It's just a dead man inside, going Swarm Host game after game after game after game. Anyway, yeah, Gurthang.
Like I
From
said,
game number 2, we went for oracles.
yes. Well, I figure it's a nice big map, and he also said that he was Protoss. So, like, well, I don't want to go for just gateways. I want to get something else. I figured I don't always do oracles. Let's see how this works out. And it worked out pretty well. As it turns out, if I saw this correctly, Loopy was going for an early expand, perhaps? Is what it looked like. Your Nexus was fairly quick.
I'm just a greedy person, though. Early expand for most people is just, I want a base for me.
Yeah, that wasn't
That's
strictly
totally
early
fair.
expand. He got a gateway, cybernetics core, and a forge, and was getting +1 while he was getting the expand. So it's a little unusual. I don't know exactly where that fits on the line, but it's earlier than most Protosses will get a base. Yes.
Alright.
Yeah.
It's like in PvP, usually they attack each other at least once before there's a base.
Well,
There are
for me,
exceptions, but yeah.
For me, I have like a go-to build for Zerg. For Protoss and Terran, I just wing it. So I
that's
just
fair.
kind of decide, I want this now, and then I make.
What you were doing would have been pretty cool against Robo, probably, because the attack comes much later. But yeah, unfortunately, everybody right now in PvP loves aggressive attacks.
Aggressive.
They're in
Swiftly.
vogue.
Yeah, it was. So of course, after the Oracle got in, it was pretty straightforward.
Straightforward.
I'm not entirely sure why you decided to just pull all the probes across the map.
Well, I don't like oracles, and I got warp gate by that point. So I had a pylon just outside your base, and I was putting my army there, and I had just warped in a stalker when your oracle decided to be annoying. And I was trying desperately to make a stalker at my base, and I couldn't, and you were killing workers. And I was like, moving to the other base, and then you were flying there, and I was just like, screw it, I'm going over! So I started running everyone over, because I was hoping that you just like maybe invested too much into the Oracle and had no other defense, so that maybe the probes could just overwhelm you, but that was a stupid idea and I shouldn't have done it. I thought if you had one Oracle and one Mothership core as your air, I thought maybe if you play badly, my 2 Stalkers can clear the air, and then I can just like
that
win.
would be almost true. If the Oracle was out of energy, I think you could have done that.
Yeah, but then
But
I
have a
got there
Stargate.
and you just had Void Rays, and I was like, as soon as I saw the Void Ray, I was like, well, I lose.
That's what I
Yeah,
followed
you-
up with. It works.
Yeah, you go Oracle and then Void Ray, or you go Oracle and then Phoenix.
Yeah, if they go
Go-
Oracle.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Of course, you can just go Phoenix anyway. Phoenixes are like just generally good in PvP.
But calling
Yeah.
back to our conversation earlier, I bet you felt so dirty after doing that. I mean,
You
you just feel like a worse person now, don't you?
You do. After you go Oracle in a game, you usually do feel kind of You're like, oh, I did that thing that makes everyone hate this race when they play against them. You know,
For me,
among,
that's why I don't make Zerglings or Mutalisks.
among the dozens of other things that Protoss does that no one else seems to appreciate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've gotten so much rage from players at this point that I don't think I feel anything anymore. I just go Oracles and go, yay, I won! Then I move
All
on to
right,
the next
guys,
game.
I gotta wrap this up real quick. So,
That's fair. All right. Yeah, last game was on Secret Spring, and that got interesting because Loopyloo proxied some barracks.
that was scary.
Uh,
I did not like that.
Good. Good, I made you squirm at least.
No, that That was a real close thing.
Oh, I know.
That was unpleasant. I think you might have overcommitted on the bunkers, just a hair. You had
I think
a
I
few.
undercommitted on the supply depots.
Ah, you
Yeah.
did. You supplied. I noticed that you were building a supply depot in my base, and I figured that was.
I was just like, I can't be bothered to look at my own base, so I'll just
Yeah,
build it.
I figured it was an economy of motion thing where you were like, I'm here, let's build it here because I really need it.
Ugh,
Yeah,
no.
you supply
was-
blocked each other. That was interesting.
Basically, it was kind of that game was kind of like a mind games against myself, because on the loading screen I thought to myself, "Huh, it's this game." And then my thought process was, "Okay, I'm 2 down. I really need to win this one. So no matter what race I am, I'll cheese." And then I thought, "Wait, no, that's a terrible idea. I don't want to cheese. I always lose when I cheese." And then I thought about it for a second. I thought, "All right, fine. If I'm Terran and I spawn at the top right, I will do the barracks rush because you did it last time." And so I happened to somehow get Terran at the top right. So I did exactly what you did to try and get payback, but then I didn't. You held it much better than I did. So yeah.
Yep. That was stressful. Lots of making sure my stalkers didn't just die.
Yeah, micro was the thing there.
I just couldn't kill him.
Almost lost the mothership core before we used photon
Right,
overcharge. There was that
Uh,
one stalker.
Oh, it was so close. Yeah.
I've got a birthday cake for someone that I've got to go consume.
Sweet.
So
All
I gotta
right.
be out of here right now.
All right.
Enjoy.
Sounds
Thank you,
good.
sir.
All right. Thanks for playing, Gurthang.
Thank you for attending.
See ya.
Have fun, guys.
Good thing that I lost all the games, otherwise you'd still be stuck here.
No.
That's the way to think about it. I mean, you know, something positive happened for me.
Sure.
So far in the show matches, I do believe that I am 9 games down and no games won. So I look forward to the next match.
It's like,
Aw.
please place me with someone I can kill. Okay.
could I fight Zero Lambda for my next show match, please? Thanks.
He has
Thank
to agree to it.
I agree right now, Zero.
I
Agree
wouldn't
right
care if we
now.
could get somebody else to stream it. Let's do it.
Yeah, about that.
Unfortunately,
It's pretty hard.
I'm the
It's pretty
resident
hard,
streamer
so-
around these parts, so it's hard to get
So-
somebody else to do it.
Covert will do it. Manbon, I saw you in chat a second ago. You're there, right? Yeah. Manbon, I'm calling you out. You want to stream this. I remember you've streamed before. There you go. Sorted. Done.
Loopyloo's
100%.
getting this set up now.
I am the manager of the show matches now.
It's okay. There's actually a pretty large number of people that need new opponents, so we're gonna have a nice
Yeah.
lineup of people, I think, for the
I'm not
next
sure.
one.
Should be
Also,
good.
apparently, Mr. Elysium signed it up. It's cool.
Yay, more people, new people.
Let me actually make sure that worked. So I
I-
remember somebody saying they were going to sign up last time, and then I didn't see anything. I'm like, uh-oh, did my sign up page break? I have no way of telling. But
One thing I want to ask, because I've always been wondering, how
Yeah,
come Zero never shows up on the stream in the Skype chat?
It's because I'm streaming from my perspective, and I'm in the
Yeah.
call, so I don't
Look
see
at-
myself in the
look,
call.
yeah, look at the Skype page. Do you see your own icon?
Yeah, no, that's so obvious. Oh dear.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
it's
okay.
fine. I forget that too. It confuses me when I look at the mods occasionally, and I'm like, oh yeah, he is there. Okay.
I always think like, we're one person down. What?
Oh yeah, we got 2 more people on here.
Very cool.
That's an interesting name. Okay. Get Elysium though. I do have your thing. I can confirm it worked.
Excellent.
Oh, your name is Liz. Sorry. I can't tell from here.
Cool. Well, thanks a lot for playing, Loopy. It's
That's cool.
nice to see you again.
Yeah, I should be able to attend more streams now. I'm not like doing a computing project. Should be good.
Kind of helps.
Because
Yeah.
I've kind of been like not here for a few weeks. It was depressing. I was so tempted to check if the arcade was going on last week, but I really had to work. I was so close to clicking on Skype, and then I thought, no.
Actually, yeah, I was super sick last weekend. We just couldn't do it. So.
Oh, okay,
it's
so I
fine.
didn't miss anything. All right, good.
So here's the thing. We're not going to be playing next weekend for sure. And then as far as the next month is concerned, I'm going to probably talk to Threx and see if I can line up our matches when he's not doing his show. So we can maybe finagle something into where he can actually help us again.
Yeah, that'd
so
be good,
there
yeah.
may The next weekend where we play show matches may be in 2 weeks or 3.
Right.
Okay.
We'll have to see.
I'm okay with anything.
Just letting everybody know that now. We will play twice during that month. That will happen, but the schedule might get a little odd.
Would it end up being like 2 arcade nights in a row then, or would it just be an empty
Yeah.
week?
Depends.
Depends if you're ill and stuff.
Well, yeah, it depends on whether or not people are capable of doing anything, because it's a for fun thing. So
Yeah.
people are generally open to for fun things
Yeah, true.
if they can happen. Boing. But yeah, we are done for this evening. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, we are done as far as the evening is concerned. So I don't know if you guys want to do anything. Also, hi, Case.
I don't know. Actually, I may be able to stick around for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, a little while I could stay, yes.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, it's only just AM.
Case will be here to mod and ban everyone, even though the internet here is too bad to watch.
Yeah.
So he can't really hear us. No. Anyway.
Oh. Hands in the air.
Yeah, cool. We'll
But yeah, the stream itself, we may as well consider essentially done.
Mhm.
Okay.
So anything that we do from here on is mostly just for fun.